Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close here with our take for 99, which is one of my favorite segments of all time on the show. For those of y'all who don't know, I'm going to tell you what it is right now. We give you a take on all the sports that's currently flowing and indoctrinated in our minds. We haven't got to cover it on this show for a variety of reasons, but now we have the opportunity to spit it out, and we have a response clause which we are allowed 1 minute to respond to each other's take should we invoke the response clause. So Zay, if you want to go first, by all means.
Oof, tough one to go first, but I do have a take for 99 cents. The Sacramento Kings will look to acquire Karl-Anthony Towns. This is a team that, as we saw, move lightning fast. Their shooting is a little bleak to say the least, but they get open shots. They move the ball really quick. They have a fast break mentality, and defense is not really their forte. He saw Sabonis, a guy who's very physical, very a brute, get manhandled in that paint because of his inability to get out the paint. All you could do is score inside, and I think they're going to look for an outside big. I think Karl-Anthony Towns is the name, is the player for that. A guy who could spread the floor, shoot the three, could score in a multitude of ways, and give the Kings offense weapons on 1 through 5 and space the floor. It's very difficult to guard a team that has 5 players that can shoot simultaneously and move in the pace that they do. I think that's something that Karl-Anthony Towns needs because he plays in his conventional team where he has a center that doesn't really do anything outside of just pick and roll. He has guards who just do the bare minimum essentially, and Connolly and I think Anthony Edwards needs his own team. I think Anthony Edwards needs to be the forefront of that team. I think it benefits both teams by getting rid of Karl-Anthony Towns, and one acquiring Karl-Anthony Towns on a high octane offense. So for me, I believe the Sacramento Kings will look to acquire Karl-Anthony Towns in the offseason.
Yes, I want to throw in my response clause to that right now. And first of all, I want to start from within. I want to talk about the Timberwolves and why they should, trade Karl-Anthony Towns. I think it's time. You need to allow Anthony Edwards to run his own team and literally build around him. I think that Rudy Gobert deal is a mess, and that's one of the things I forgot to reference when I was talking about Kevon Looney and the bang for your buck, and having a guy that's making bottom tier and seeing Rudy Gobert make the money that he's making is embarrassing when you compare the two. It's very embarrassing, and that's one of the things I forgot to mention earlier, but I'm glad I was able to mention it now. And I think the most tradable asset that you do have and that you want to trade is Karl-Anthony Towns. So I think it's inevitable that he should be on the move. Now, I don't know if I see the Kings in the rearview mirror, but I did see reports over the weekend that, and this is just not my opinion, but this is what I saw, that the Knicks and Karl-Anthony Towns are interested in making things happen. That's the report I saw, right? And Karl-Anthony Towns from New Jersey, represented by Leon Rose, I think that will be a move that I think he will prefer. And I think the Knicks are still going to be aggressive and try to be aggressive, getting another star caliber player. Whether that fit is a good fit or not, we'll have to see. But I think the Knicks, even if they move on, which I do expect them to do, and make the Eastern Conference Finals, I don't think that's going to take away the aggression in these, times in the calendar. So I could potentially see them making that deal. That means Mitchell Robinson is going to have to go, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. But when I watch games like yesterday, maybe that makes me feel better about that. But then when I think about this Cleveland series, I'm like, I don't know about all that. So that's the Mitchell Robinson experience that you get. Karl-Anthony Towns, obviously, he will open up our offense from a spacing perspective. He's a very offensive-minded center, right? He's more on the offensive side, which I think could very well help a team that has the components to fit him. I think we, as a Knicks team, we are very gritty and we are very tough. So I think that fits well because he doesn't have to be that tough physical guy. Somebody needs to do the dirty work, and I think we have those guys like Josh Hart that are willing to do those things. And I think it will open up our offense. It will give us a guy that can knock down threes, as we saw yesterday. We couldn't buy a shot off the internet. And I think, it's something to look into depending on the package and what, how the Timberwolves are willing to sell. Or they're going to sell high, So I think we'll look at that package and see what that offers. And maybe that deal happens or maybe it doesn't. Anyway, my take for 99 cents. Make it make sense, right? It's going down. Potentially. Will Tyson Fury ruin the super fight night in boxing? Will he? Because I don't know if y'all know, and for those of y'all boxing fans, there's been a lot of rumors circulating about a mega super fight night showdown. All right, with Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Uysk for the belts, and Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua on the same night. Okay, the Saudi Boxing Committee is trying to, or Federation rather, Federation Committee, same thing to me, is trying to make it happen. And it's going to cost about $400 million to make. It's going to be very expensive, but it will give boxing fans the treat of a lifetime. But immediately when I heard that this was going down, and it was circulating throughout the whole month of April, I remember when I first heard it, I tried not to get my, how can I say it, my hypeness up for it. But then I saw that Tyson Fury called me on my phone because he know I'm talking about him, but it's all good. But then I said to myself, once I got all these rumors and guys fact checking that, yo, this might actually be going down. You heard Malik Scott saying that there's some validity to it. Eddie Hearn came out, said there's some validity to it. So I'm thinking to myself, the first thing, will Tyson Fury ruin it? Because I don't know if y'all noticed, but this cat been acting like a straight up bot. He's been acting like a diva right now, right? We all know that the Oleksandr Uysk and Tyson Fury fight broke down negotiations because Tyson Fury was acting like a cokehead. And the reason why he was acting like a cokehead, I guess he's back on that coke, was because, you know, he wanted a bigger purse, and Oleksandr Uysk agreed to the bigger purse that in favor of Tyson Fury, despite having the belts, right? He agreed to taking a pay cut to make the fight happen. But then there was something with the rematch clause, and Tyson Fury showed that he was not taking things seriously. He would rather play games than actually fight in the ring, right? And Anthony Joshua, we knew that him saying that the fight had to get done in 2 weeks was very unrealistic. So the thing here is Tyson Fury going to, you know, calm that ego aside to make the fight happen, right? I know that Deontay Wilder and Joshua is probably going to go down, and I understand that a lot of people think that Anthony Joshua does not want to fight Wilder, which, you know, for all intents and purposes, he didn't, right? In 2017, when both was at the top of the sport, right? He didn't want to make the fight happen. But at the end of the day, Joshua lost all leverage of being the A side. He needs Deontay Wilder now. So that fight is going to happen, okay? Because he is not the A side no more. He can't play politics. He needs to eat off of Wilder's plate. So that fight is going to happen for a price. Any fight can happen for a price. And I think that fight will happen worst case scenario. However, best case scenario, we get the super fight. But Tyson Fury is going to have to coincide. And my worry is, first of all, which fight is the main event? Number one. Is it Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Uysk for the belts? Is that the main event? I think Wilder and Joshua is more exciting. Is that the main event? Do Tyson Fury say, I'm not fighting unless I'm part of the main event here, right? There's a lot of things that could go down. What about Anthony Joshua? Does he decide to fight again, a tune-up fight to prepare for Wilder in July and lose? Because anything with AJ is not a given. I mean, Franklin took him to a decision. Jermaine Franklin, my gosh. My guy's gun shy. Okay? Do he take another tune-up fight? Do you risk that? So, I think to bring us home here, this will be a great night for boxing. And if Tyson Fury is the reason why this night is not going to happen, we need to boycott Tyson Fury going forward. Okay, we need to take a flight to Dublin, Ireland, my guy Daniel Kinahan, the gangster, the mobster that he's working with, and hold them accountable, right? Hold them accountable, because as boxing fans, we can get treated to a treat that was never given to any boxing fans, especially in our generation. So that's my take for 99.
Throw that person on mute button. Excuse me. You know, that was just an eloquent take. I don't have a rebuttal for that. I think that's important. You know, us as boxing fans, we deserve to see the best of the best fights. And this year was supposed to be that year of boxing. We saw all the cards slated early on of what's to come for boxing, and this is one of those nights where we wanted to see as well. So hopefully, this does not happen where Tyson Fury just takes over and kind of asserts his A-side authority from ruining a good night. So hopefully all of this does not happen and we get to see a great rest of the year of boxing.
Yeah, man. Listen, I want to see it. The whole world wants to see it. Let's make it happen. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up another episode of 99 Pod. It's not 1999 anymore. And once again, as we depart, make sure you like and subscribe and get in tune with these notifications that we have coming your way, because we have a lot of content coming your way. We're going to do another show this week, so make sure you lock into that. And it's going down, man. So, yes, on to the next Wednesday.
Please like and subscribe for all the up-to-date content. We've been slinging shows left and right, slinging content left and right. Please don't miss anything. If you do, like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a question, something you may want to answer, something you may have. All ideas are great ideas. Nothing's a dumb question.